Okay. All right. So I'm going to make an edit here and here, just so I can line everything up a little bit better. All right. So now I see what I'm dealing with. First of all, these consonants are out of sync. So I'm going to nudge this one a few milliseconds to the right, this one a few milliseconds to the left, just so that they're both, I'm counting this whole ramp up section as the consonant.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, 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 oh.
And now the breath, I'm just going to sync them up a little bit closer to the next syllable. My fade there, and then I'm going to fade in, fade out. So I'm going to put this is right into the breath. That's right into the breath, or right the end right into the breath. Put a fade out there. Put a fade in here. Back up a little bit.
Ready to blow. Oh.
All right, so that's not natural. So
Ready to blow. Oh.
all right. All right. So part of the problem is he anticipated the beat a lot more than I wish he did. So I'm gonna have to let this whole thing anticipate the beat a little bit more than I expected to have to. So I'm gonna just see this right here. That's probably where the beat needs to lie. It's actually an offbeat, but let's just back the whole thing up. There. Now we're going to see how far off we are on the breath. We're going to try to basically, what I'm doing now is I'm basically averaging it. I'm realizing that I don't have as much to work with as I thought. So I'm sort of lining it up and then averaging it. So I'm going to look at where the breath comes right out of that. I'm going to look on this side. So I have to decide if the breath is going to be on this side or on this side. And, oh, you know what it is? It's two different breaths. That's what's going on. This was a punch in. It's a punch in. Okay. Ah, that makes sense. All right. So I'm going to leave this breath as is. Let me look at this. Was this also a punch in? Yes, they were both a punch in. They're not from the same phrase. Okay. That makes sense. Now I realize why this wasn't really working. Okay. So let's listen to that. See if that sounds natural.
The blow. Oh.
That's better. That's better. All right. So we still have a little bit of overlap here that's not quite right, but let me kind of nudge it a little bit. Nope, that's not good. All right. I'm just gonna have to kind of do the best we can. I think that's gonna be the best spot right there for a fade. So this part sounds okay.
Oh. Oh.
Now we still have a gap here in the middle. I never dealt with that. I just sort of lined it up because that's where the vowel changes.
Oh.
Now it's anticipating the beat on both of these now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll it over and make the edit right around where the beat changes. Now I'm going to listen.
Oh.
Now I'm editing in the middle of a vowel. Now when you edit in the middle of a vowel, you have to line up the waveform like this. So you can see that this pattern is like, it's like a, oh, what do they call that? It's like a spade in a deck of cards, okay? And the same thing here. It's the same basic pattern. So we need to have that pattern be consistent. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually edit in the most obvious place in the pattern, right there, right between the biggest peak and the lowest low. That's where I'm going to make the edit, believe it or not, because that's going to be the most obvious place. So I'm just going to find the closest one. There's one right there. Let me see on the bottom. Okay, on the bottom, I'm going to have to nudge it a little bit. Okay. All right, so now we got to line this up perfectly. So we're going to zoom in. Here on the bottom, I'm lining it up right on the zero crossing. That's the best place to make the edit. That actually looks like a pretty good edit already. That's actually perfect. I don't know how I did that. Now we'll go over here, do the same thing. Nudge it. Oh, I went nudge too much. That's the edit. Just drag it. And there, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to put a crossfade right there and right there. That should make a good edit. Back out. Now it should look, see how consistent that looks? The same amount on both sides. Now let's listen to that.
Oh.
So you can't hear any click.
Oh.
Yeah, so if there's no click or pop or any kind of thing like that, then we're good. And then this one here, or whatever he does, that's right there. So I'm just moving the vowel to start right on, and this is an eighth note. So it's the end of 4. Okay. And that looks good. Well, let me see if I need to do it that way. Let me see if I can connect the two. Oh, I can. Okay, good. So I'm going to connect the regions because there's enough. It's not going to overlap. And then I'm just going to nudge them back a little bit. There. See that?
Oh.
That was a little weird. The breath was in a weird spot. So I'm going to put this into 10 milliseconds, and I'm going to nudge all the way to the other side of the breath. Here we go. See, now what I did by doing that is I lined up the end of these vowels better now. So they're ending at the right spot, and there's not going to be a weird edit there.
Oh.
Still
Oh.
a little odd. The breath sounds a little out of place. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find a different breath that's a little more natural. So this is verse 1, take 11, verse 1, take 2. So any other take besides those two will do the job. Verse 1, take 2, not that one. Let's just start looking at breaths. That's a nice healthy breath. Look at that. Look at that big healthy breath. Okay, let's take a listen. Let's take 3. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's grab that. Now I want to find another one that's shaped similarly. Just as long as it's not 2 or 11. Not that one. I like how that one kind of peaks at the end. Take 8. No, not take 9. Take 10. Take 10's not bad. It doesn't have that same shape, but it has a good flavor, good breath flavor. All right, so now I'm going to take that out, that out, that out, that out. I'm not going to use any of that old breath. I'm just going to see how I can place this here. I'm going to find the right spot to make the edit. I'm going to see if that works. I'm going to back this back in the way I had it before. Oop, now that goes to the extra, so we get in there. So we have to have the 2. We're going to be in 2 different spaces. Okay, so that's good there, and then a fade here. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's the other. Okay.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Okay, so now this oh is too long. So I'm just going to find another one that's either as long as this one or short like that one. So it just can't be take 2 or 11. So let's go to take 3, not take 3. I'm just going by the shape. Okay, that shape looks good. That shape, that's number 5. Let's take a listen.
Oh.
But it doesn't bend in the right way, so that's not it. Oh.
Oh.
And that one goes sharp at the end.
Oh. Oh.
That one goes sharp at the end also. But let's hear it versus this one.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, see, it matches the contour better than this one does. So even though it goes a little sharp at the end, I'll end up tuning this with Melodyne anyways. in the next step. So that won't matter too much. Let's see. Make sure that I got to nudge it. Something flew there. Okay, that looks good. Let's put the edit in the same spot.
Oh, oh.
Okay, let me make the endings the same length. I'm going to put it in grid mode, and I'm going to grid this out to the beat and to the fade. And now they match much better.
10 o'clock on the dial, she was ready to blow. Oh, oh.
Okay, that's done.